So starting the live with the incorrect title. O3DE live coding in the light coding. Save. Let's see. So okay, it works. I see. Yeah. Now I need to share that. Test. Okay, it works. Now I need to take the chat. So let's open the chat. Front. Up. This and this. And now I will show the screen. Oops. Yep. And here we go. So welcome everyone. This is it's not my first live about O3DE. I was supposed to continue, in fact, my previous project, which I guess it was a spell cube. However, I decided to not do that. Oh, actually, it was Succuban Light. But to be honest, I had no idea on what to do with that project, so instead I would create a new one using the Kine assets. So, but first let's do an introduction. Hello, I am André. I am a game developer, and today what I will do is trying to use these assets from Kine to create a tower defense. I tried this last year. It didn't work because I didn't know too much about O3D. Now I know more. So I try again. I never did an tower defense anyway, so that would be interesting. So let's start by creating a new project. So for instance, I am using O3DE. Oh, it does not shows here, but it's 2510. And that was recently released. So I create a new project here. I'll call it our defense. It will use the default settings. Or kickstart. Good question. Actually, I will go with with script only, since I will only use scripts anyway. So let's create the project, press the OK button, and build the project. Build, yes. It's now building. And it is built. So let's open the tower defense project. And now it will open the splash screen with all of the asset processing that happens by default. So this may take a while. I hope it does not take too much time since we are live. But well, In retrospect, I had to I should created the project first, but no problem. We can work with that. Let's move this to this and wait. Oh, by the way, let's see, use the live chat. And here it is. Let's open the default level. For now, there is anything here, just some placeholders because the assets are still being processed. We can check that by clicking independent jobs hidden button, and we can see in jobs and see the assets that is still pending for processing and the ones that are being processed, like uh, the EXR files and Hermanubis, which are the assets that takes most of the time. Otherwise, the rest is quite okay to being processed. So while we wait, we can then check here about the this the assets. So if I click here in overview, I can see a list of the assets. Oh, I have variations. Interesting. Huh, interesting. So we have 116 objects. Okay, so what we can use for now. So what I want to do first is the cannon that shoots and bullet. So we have the weapon aim bullet, and well, actually I prefer the cannonball and use the weapon cannon here. It's what I want to do. So let's do that first. So let's go to the tower defense assets, and I'll create a folder here due to a bug in Linux. So 3D assets, and then weapons. Then let's find this one. So the first one, it's cannon. I mean weapon cannon. And oops, I don't want to move actually. Just a copy. And cannonball. Okay, I go back here and I see nothing actually. Okay, that's not great. In fact, it's the first time I see this bug by using O3DE for months. Maybe it's because I did not waited for the assets processing. I wonder if it's listed here. No, it's not. So let's wait this one first. And it's done. So we see here, it's now imported. And there is this bug about the placeholder textures, but by playing, hitting play and escape, it's reloaded, right? So I will not use cannonball, for instance, but the rest I am satisfied, and I will lock and save. So first step, I create an entity, which is something in our game. Call it cannon. Actually, weapon as a general. And in fact, I may should plan things out first. So let's plan things. So I open Draw.io, create a new diagram, empty diagram, and let's start. So first we have the design and the entries. So the idea here is that let's take a text here. So our defense GDD. So how this will work, right? So how this works? This is a pretty standard tower defense game. How the gaming works. There's 2 points in the map with a path between them. There's start and end spots. I guess that spots is the right term to use here. From the start, the start spots is where the enemies comes from. The end spot is their objective. If an enemy reach the end spot, actually path ends. It's a better term. That's that one. Path starts and path ends. Path start is where the end comes from, capitalized, and the path end it's their objective. If an enemy which is the path end, the game is over. Actually, when is a better term. When our enemies are destroyed by player, game, it's game win. It's game over. So let's can I, yes I can, this here, enemies, game over, game win, and I save that. Play player construct weapons to destroy the enemies. E.g. cannon. And that's it. That's the game GDD. So let's just illustrate that. So let's create a circle. Path start. Put by that. Put path and create a path from this to that. However, it will be just this thing here, and now we can create a certain path, and that's why Draw.io it's so great. I can draw things very easily. And then we have enemies, which could be um, this one, enemy. So we go like, oops, again, damn it. Yep. Let's. Oh, I can just do that. That's easier. Right? And then we have the cannons, like this triangle, I guess, which is the weapon. And with a blue sign, and then it fires against the enemy. Fires against like that. And weapons only fires on near enemies. And that's it. That's our GDD. Let's go to project. Tower defense. Create a new folder called doc. Actually, capitalize doc, and that's GDD save, and that's it. Actually, let's save again, but as an SVG, because draw.io can be an SVG file and still be can be edited like a draw.io documents. So in other words, I can edit that. And hello, Kali. And still be visualized as a vector, which is very great actually. And I will do just for quickly and readme. No, yeah, readme, D. Edit that and GDD, and then pass an image, which I don't not remember how to do that. On image syntax is that. Oh, okay. I call it. So she's like that. GDD image and GDD SVG. Save, quit, and I could use apostrophe instead, which is way easier to use. Yep. Okay. Right, now the entries. So we have a list, right? So let's create a list, an entries list. So what we have is the path start, path end, cannon. Okay, how I create new items here. Right. Cannon bomb, an enemy, and no weapon, and projectile, projectile, and that's it, I guess. Now the hierarchy, it's quite simple. We have start and path end, and both of them will inherit from the same base entity, which is actually, I think I could do that. And and we go here and just use the what's the here this one. And that's it. I copy paste and align here with the weapon, cannon, and for now it's just cannon, and then projectile, cannonball, and I have the enemy, which is just be an enemy, and then simple enemy. Anyway, that's our prefab hierarchy, and that's it. That's our GTD. And this should be in same page, otherwise you do not show in the SVG. So let's just set that here and exclude that. Right. Now that I have that, I can start. So let's go to weapon and save this in prefab, which be weapon. It can just be weapon. And then I create another prefab, and I create a new folder here. Prefabs, weapons, enemies, projectiles, reading rights. And projectiles, weapons, and that's it, I guess. And here we go to weapons and save the cannonball. Cannon, actually. Save. So, weapon always have a mesh at least. So let's add a mesh, and that's it. And on our cannon, we create an override to the mesh model assets and choose the cannon and save. Okay, where is that? Here. Great. Now what I need to do is create something empty and set a positive y and see that the cannon points to the positive y, so that's perfect. It's what I need. Okay, the next thing I need to create it's a script folder. So let's go back to tower defense, create a folder script called scripting. Oops, is scripting. Go to, actually scripting will be under assets. Okay, so asset scripting and create a new Lua component script and call it weapon. So every weapon has a weapon script. And that's it. Oops. Now, what I do is create a new one, which will be the enemy. Let's choose. This will be the enemy, which is the base prefab. So let's save this here and then create the another prefab, which is the simple enemy. Yes, what's the name? Yep, simple enemy. So let's click here and simple enemy and save. Okay. Similarly, an enemy has a mesh, and for the enemy, what you need is, let's see, what I can use for enemy. So I have some enemies actually. Yeah, it could be a UFO. So let's go here and 3D assets, enemies, and check for enemies. Place enemies here. Oh, there is enemy weapon. What's that? Oh, it's a enemy with an app one. Okay, I see. So I don't want that. So let's just place this here and search for that. And where is it? Enemy. And select that. And here is it. Oh, wrong. This should be empty. And then simple enemy should have the UFO. Yep. And that's it. So back to enemy, we create here the enemy script. Wrong name. Yep. Then select enemy. Let's add a Lua script and select the enemy. So every enemy has an enemy script, and that's it. Okay, another thing that I need to do is on the enemy, I'll create a tag. And this tag will have one tag, which is the enemy tag, and save. And I'll apply the same thing for weapons. So let's add a tag. And this will be, this will have the weapon tag. Save that, and that's it. Okay, so great. Now what I need is to create the event. So let's actually think about the logic, right? So I created here is that let's move that to here. So, about the scripts, right? What they can use. So out of them here, we have the blue. Oh, which I use for prefabs. And here I use the green one for scripts. So we have the weapon components, the projectile components, and the enemy components here. And I will create a new one. And is the radar components. So the radar will be also on weapon and they will communicate with each other. So for instance, let's align things here, for instance, just for a moment. And also let's create another components, which will be the health. So enemy, you have health. This is wrong. Yep, it should be this one. This one should be nothing. Okay. And the enemy has enemy. The projectile communicates with health. And enemy will listen to health. Do it to death. And projectile sends damage. Okay. So about the weapon, a weapon here has so weapon entity has a weapon. Oops. Let's battery that and also has the radar. Also revert that, and that's it. And how that will work is so weapon will communicate with radar and same happens here. Just let's align this in a better way. And what happens is that weapon listens to radar. So radar sends enemy near enemy notification. And this distance radar. Okay, just some changes. Now, actually, what happens is here it's this. So this go here, and these go this way. Same the damage, it's actually passed to the entry. So let's line this way. And same thing here. And that's it. That's the architecture of our of that game basically. So the Lua scripts its enemy, its weapon. There is Raider. So let's create the Raider. There is health. There is projectile, and that's it. 2 and 3. Right. So enemy has the enemy script, right? And the weapon also has its. So let's open weapon and actually also add the other script. So the other one is health. Okay, and enemy. God damn it. It's wrong. Sorry. It's not health. It's radar. Right. And on our enemy, we have health. And that's it. Now, what I need to do, it's the events. So I'll create a folder here. Scripting events. And let's put the events here. So I need to open the asset editor, create a script event. So the first one is health request events. Just has health requests. Because health, you have as an request, it manages the health points, the HP of the object, and when the HP is 0, it's got destroyed. So it will have an event. It will be of address type entity, and it will have an apply damage. So it will apply damages. Applies damage to entity. It has Boolean return time, which is got destroyed or not. And so the first parameter is damage amount. How much damage should be applied? And it would be a number. And that's it. It's just pass here our defense category, and let's save this as an health requests and save that. And now we have a new script event, which will be health notifications, which is the notification about, hey, it got destroyed. So got destroyed. This notification is sent when HP equals less or equals 0. It has no return type and no parameter actually. So save that as an now notifications and also save that. Okay, pretty great. And it did not save. What? Health. It did not save it actually. What? Why? Oh, I probably did something wrong. When I do something wrong, it's not saved. So let's try this again. Um, let's try it. Entity got destroyed because HP isn't 0. And let's try to save again as oh, I see. I somehow um saved in the wrong place. Okay, have notifications. Let's save that. Still not in the right place. Why it's saving here? Oh, I selected the same thing again. Hello, Vuken. Okay, let's try again. Health notifications. Save. And now it's in the right place, thanks. Okay, so now I can what I should do now. Let's see. Health to the 10. Let's do the health. So let's double clicking health, and here is it. We can just like health balance, just health actually, and copy that. It's already connected. That's great. Properties. Let's write this again, but with a tab, and let's this here. So things I need to do. Create an event category here, and then use the health one. So health. We have the two bases here, so let's write them here. So have notifications, which is a script event No assets. I don't remember. Let's Google it. Actually, no need to Google it because I remember where to look. Scripts. I may. I think I am looking in the wrong place. Are you using the ECS architecture? No, because O3DE uses just EC, like Unity. It's not ECS. The behavior, its own components. It's not separated like in ECS. Scripts. Okay. This should go. Okay, script events ISID reference. Okay. Script events. It's event events. Events. ACID reference. Right. And we will do the same for requests. Now what I need to do is I need to listen. So self dot health handler health requests handler equals to health requests dot connect, and I connect to myself like that. And this way I have I can bind the event that is apply damage. So let's write it there. Health requests function health apply damage. That is not necessary, but I like to keep the names consistent. Okay, so one of the properties is our starting HP, which will be an integer. Actually, I can use default plus one, and description could be initial amounts HP, this, and then pass something like HP equals self dot properties dot initial HP. Actually, I'll go with initial. And something I need to do too is disconnect. If I connect here, I need to disconnect on the activation. Like that. Okay, so with that, I have HP. So self.hp equals itself minus damage amounts. And if self.hp it's lesser or equals to 0, then we send and have notifications dot events dot got stride true for cells and return true, or otherwise hidden false. And yeah, it's that. It's just that. Okay. I think this implements health. So with that in mind, I can open enemy. And handle how it's done. Um, how it's on enemies. So health is done in health. I already need to do it's have an events and listen for health notifications, which is an script events usage reference. And on activation need to connect the um, health notifications. So health notifications handler equals to health notifications dot connect, and we connect ourselves like that, and we need to then disconnect on the activation. And when handling of notifications, we use the got destroyed notification. And when this happens, what we need to do is destroy our entity, which I don't actually remember how to do that. Oh, okay, this works. So, let's try that. Game entities context request bus dot. Oh, that's a broadcast. Oh, and it makes sense actually to be a broadcast. And then we create a destroy game entity and the settings actually, and we pass our own. Are you from Brazil? Yes, I'm from Brazil. Game entity contest request bus broadcast destroy game entity descendants, and we pass our own entity ID as an entity to be destroyed. Ah tá, fica mais fácil de escrever. Eu tô treinando meu inglês aqui. E não tem muito vídeo de O3DE no YouTube, então o pessoal de fora também pode dar uma acompanhada, tá ligado? So, okay, that's it. Let's close that, close that. Yeah, save that. Mas tá bom inglês, sério? Valeu. And now what I do here now? I'll create a new, I'll create a script canvas to test things. And I will add to enemy. Oh, first I need to edit things. So first, unfortunately, O3 does not tells me which one is one, but does not really matter. So I can just go here and bind the health requests and then health notifications, save, and here it's asking for health notifications, and save that too. Go to here and save here, and now I need to revert the overrides like that, and I will do with a 2 initial HP for simple. Amigo, preciso dormir agora, mas você tá arrasando, viu? Sem gostar. Muito obrigado, Kali. Valeu, boa noite. And what I do now is close that and revert that to. Okay. Simple, simple. Now what I do, we create a script event components and bind the testings uh, script so I can, hey, test things. So let's wait that and here it. So when grab start, we create a time delay. And this time delay, we wait for 2 seconds. And when it's done, I use apply damage events on our cells. Apply just one. I will print. It's that. And then I will basically copy and paste that. So let's copy that, paste that. Oh, it's not working. Maybe duplicates? Duplicates, okay. And go with a start on the outs here too and test that again. And okay, that's it. This works. Let's close that and go to console, create this and run. It's that true. Okay, it does not have worked as I was expecting. So initial HP is 2, so it should at least wait for a bit. So what I did wrong. So it's just one the amount. So let's go here, health and huh. That log HP to string that the set of HP, then damage string damage amounts, and that's it. Let's try again. Oh, okay. The health part is working, the timing isn't. Um, Now I need to check that, and yeah. I may discovered a bug here in O3DE because it should not to like it's a time delay of 2 seconds. It should wait for 2 seconds. Actually, it waits, but then it does not create a second time delay of 2 seconds again. It just applied the damage instantly. Same time, you use this engine looks like Unity and Unreal at the same time, and usually use Wavy engine. Yeah, this is O3DE. It's the written version of Lumberyard, because Amazon tried to make games with Lumberyard and they gave up on that, but they decided to try an open source route, so they wrote the Lumberyard engine and released as O3DE, which stands for Open 3D Engine. And they donated to Linux Foundation, so it's not an Amazon engine anymore. It's a Linux Foundation engine now. And for me, it's quite great. And yeah, it's like I think the people, the community agrees that the engine sits between Unity and Unreal because it allows customization like Unreal. In fact, it's a first class C++ engine. I am using Lua and Script Canvas here, which is the visual scripting, but you can code everything with C++ and you have more powers if you do so. But it uses a similar workflow of Unity using entities and components. So I really agree that it's like a mix of both, which I really like, to be honest. And interesting that you are using Bevy. How is Bevy? It's something like production ready. Can you create games already with it? Because I know there is some tech demos and some jams too, but I decided to not try Bevy for now because it seems like it's something that is being a nice, like it's our engine that is starting, you know. So I'm not sure if I would use for jams. So what's your opinion about Bevy? I'm curious. And this may be a bug. Yeah, what I will try is an activation. Place that here. Yeah. Um, okay, so I may found a new O3DE bug. Seems that timing is broken for some reason. This used to work. Maybe this is a bug of that version. So interesting. I will delete this for just for testing, but interesting to found this here. I think Imbev is a great project, but not project production ready. I see. To be honest, O3DE, I would say it's gen ready, but I still not confident for production ready for studios, you know. Um, there are studios that are using O3D as in production ready products, but I am personally still a bit scared. I'm creating projects with Baby for fun learning. I see. And how has been Rust for that? Okay, so the next step will be Radar. How I can use Radar for that? Yes. Hmm. I need to learn Rust someday, but not for now. I do not even know C++, actually. I only know C. Okay, weapon. I only do only one more thing, and I will stop the live stream because it's really late for me. Which is the radar. So how radar will work? Radar could be it could be a trigger collider. I like restriction how lips working. I see. I am my most interesting of Rust is on the memory safety thing. This is what scares me most about C++. So I really find interesting the ownership model of Rust. It makes sense to me. Um, so, but I didn't try to make a game with that. People complaining a lot on the web, but I I want to try for myself because, in all honesty, although I did try it with not exactly C, it was Nelua, but it compiles to C anyway. And in the end, I end up using GC to um, manage the memory. But I tried to use manual allocation, and it wasn't fun to solve the leaks later on. So I end up using GC for that. So I'm wondering, like, okay, people say that memory, uh, manual memory is not hard on C++, but it seems very hard to do that safely. So Rust may actually make things easier in that perspective. So I'm curious to try that. I would use micropad tool first. How should I do weapon? Maybe I should do a trigger collider. So in this case, I need to add an enriched body, which should be static. No, it should be dynamic actually. Dynamic for the body. It will be a simulated one. I guess, no, I may be able to use kinematic. Sorry. And disable the gravity, lock everything, to be honest. And then I will create a collider, which could be primitive. This collider is of type sphere, which has a radius like that. Mm, Still not sure about this. Actually, I think I can avoid using physics engines altogether. I will try without a physics engine and do it at hand. And in this case, what I need is create the radar events. So let's create the script events, radar requests of our events category. It has an address type of entry ID. And yeah, that's it. And what we can do is return add enemy to watch, adds an enemy to be watched by reader. This is and then we create the enemy to be watched. And actually, let's use entry. Read 3 to be watched and entry. And of type entry ID. Great. And we have another one, which is remove entry to watch to stop being watched. And it has a parameter of entry. removes an entry, which is the entry ID, and that's it. Save as, and read the requests, and saved. Okay, now I would do scripting reader, reader, and just copy. Oops, not one. And let's end this quickly because I need to sleep, because I need to work tomorrow. That is actually today already. Self that will be requests, and it goes to reader requests dot connect self that ID, and I need to disconnect reader requests. Right, and we got events. Is ready requests, which is an asset on script events. Is it reference? Any future notifications? And we have um if you want, add me on Discord. It's the same nickname. Okay. If you can draggy, I'll send a DM eventually. I'm not sure if I have anything to talk, like compared to other programmers. I am pretty simple person, let's say that. But I will send a message. Remove entity to watch. Okay, so thanks, by the way. So add entry to watch. What we do is we will have, what we do is we have an entries being watched. So like an array. And what we do is insert in this table the entry, and here it's the same, although I need to check Lua documentation. So the Lua 54 people.remove. Yeah, it's list and position. So what I need to do it's for I equals 1 self dot entry is being washed. So I need to find entry actually could be EI in, no, it's IE in a pairs of that. And if E equals to entry, then we break the search and table dot remove in for lists. The position where we found the entity, and that's it. That's better. It's less performance, but that's not the problem here. Now what I do is Okay, that's it. And now what I need is create an ontick. Self.ontick André-LA. We connect to the tick bus. I didn't knew that. We connect that, choose ourselves, I guess. And same way, I need to disconnect that. With that connected and disconnected, we have to bandwidths. It does notifications, which is a notification actually, which is the ontick. So Python reader ontick, which is actually whatever. We're not using that anyway. And I should do is for I equals 1 for we will iterate here. On the entities and get the position. So my global pose, just my position equals to transform pulse dot event dot get world translation of entry ID and also epos, which is from the e entry. With that, we can calculate the distance, which is an actual function from my position and e position. And say that. And then I have a property which is range, which by default should be 1, and the description is range in meters, in units for the reader, and its suffix can be u. And what I do is if my distance is greater than self.properties.range, which actually, yes, it's on properties, okay. So it's greater than or equals than the range, then I know that it's no. However, I have a problem actually. So let's build a new function. So wait, new large new large entry, receives entry D and returns a table which is EID entry ID and got is detected equals false, and we use that instead. So when we add the entity, what we do, it's not adding the entity directly, but use that function, And when we move, we use a new local function called is washed entry, and return if on list entry. Actually, so entry dot entry ID equals entry ID. So this way we just use this washed entry e entry ID. Right. That way you can get the, from here we use entry and entry dot entry ID like that. And if it's got spotted, then we need to we basically save was detected was already got detected equals to entry dot is detected or better not. E aí, Juan Massini. Detected equals to not detected. Because it is detected now. And then we use the same as last detection. And if it was detected, then have notifications dot no radar notifications, but I did not write this yet. Indo dormir aqui, mas eu gostei do projeto. Pretendo ao vivo só acompanhar. Valeu, Juan. Boa noite. Já já vou dormir também. Script event, radar notifications. Radio fans. My brain is melting. Entry got entry got detected, and then the entry detected, which is an 3D, and entry got lost. So entry got detected on radar and got lost on radar. And again, entry lost. Let's save that as a radar. Notifications. Save, and please, I need to sleep. So let's open weapon. Boa noite, Juan. Let's see, vamos. Show radar notifications. Please say that I actually saved that. And yes, I did. Okay. Equals to sweet balance is reference self dot radar notifications and one equals to radar notifications dot connect self dot ID and this connect that. Right, and that's what I should do is write the notifications and paste them. Let's try to connect and correct again. Nope. Okay. Enemy dot detected. I send that to myself, and I send the entry, which is entry dot entry ID, and same here with last connection. Enemy, no, entry not lost. It's entry, not enemy. Yeah. And that's it. So what I do now is go to enemy, and when it's activated, what I do is radar. Oh, actually, request broadcast at enemy to watch and pass self.entry ID. And I need to copy that with reader requests. So basically when the enemy it's activated, it's spawned, it will send, it will broadcast, in other words, send to all raiders in the world to add an entry to be watched, which is the entry ID of the enemy. So the raider will get this request and process that by adding to the entries being watched, and by on the outtake will eventually go to this enemy as an entry and compare the distance, and if it is the distance it's actually less or equal to the range, it's um, see if it's got detected or got lost, and in either case it will send a notification that the entity got detected or lost, which is what weapon will discover, which I will just add an log and I will sleep. So here now I will convert here, convert here. Um, Save. Okay, so in the weapon I need to pass radar notifications, which is what I'll be using, and in radar there is nothing, and should have things. So let's go here and we have notifications and requests. It's not going here because I need to play first. Oh, okay. Wrong move. Uh, but it is here. Let's try to reprocess everything. And if it does not appear, I will finish my the live stream because it's really, really late. I need to sleep. Seriously. Okay, great. I don't understand what's happening. So sometimes it's just better to close O3DE and try again. Like seriously, sometimes uh, the assets processor does not cooperate. So I will open the engine again, but I will do nothing, honestly. I will finish the live soon. Just want to check. And yeah, for some reason the radar is not showing the properties, like weapon it is showing, but not radar. I'm not sure what happens here. Its properties is written right. There is the fence and everything. If I add something, there is in the completion is successful. So for some reason radar it's not showing the properties. I really don't know why. So I'll finish my live stream here. Anyway, thank you everyone. Thank you Vukan, thank you Ruan and Kali uh, uh, for the chat and everyone that watched here. I will sleep here, so have a good night and I will be seeing uh, someday because it's really complicated for me to do this live stream, so I'm not sure when I will return. But once I will return, it's with this radar working and hopefully to continue this project. Again, thank you everyone and bye bye.